Announcement section, download this PDF, Valkyrie magazine. We're going to do two ways to highlight portfolios in the portfolio section. One is we're going to download this file as a PDF, put it into our root directory, and connect our second portfolio thumbnail to a PDF to open up in a new window. So if you have any kind of writing samples, any kind of design pieces, anything that you might want to post in your portfolio, we can easily make a PDF out of it, link it in the thumbnail area, point it to a new window, open it up as a PDF. The second thing I want to show you is the secondary page description for the portfolio section, where you could do a mini case study if you would like in the portfolio section of your personal website. I did partition off a section of my server, my cloud server, so that I'll be able to put portfolios up on the web. If when you're done with this, you want to have it somewhere where the world can see it. If you complete it, I'll be able to upload it to my host server, because I'm separating a subdirectory to put your guys' portfolio websites on there. So if you want to have something you can point potential employers to, or volunteer opportunities or anything like that, we'll be able to post it up there. I'm still working on the URL. It's going to be something like bcportfolios.com or something. I'm going to get some kind of URL and point it to my server, and then you'll have your website out there if you would like to, for the world to be able to see it. So it'll be like bcportfolio.com/Mike B, Joe C, Betty E, or whatever the folder is we use for the thing. Say that again? Okay. So manage sites, you're fine. Make sure that you just have the one highlighted that you want to get done. So you have a new one? All right, so then you have to do a new site. And then pick your portfolio 2 folder from there. And just name it like version 2 or something, so that you know in Dreamweaver that you have version 2 connected to your Dreamweaver. All right, download the PDF. Open up the PDF in Photoshop. So Valkyrie Fall 2024.pdf. Open that PDF in Photoshop so that we have an image of it opened up. And then I would like you to open up the Masonry Portfolio 2.jpg from your assets folder, also in Photoshop. So you should have, I think we replaced the Portfolio 2 with a camera of some kind last week. We're going to take the Valkyrie magazine cover, we're going to make that thumbnail a portion of the image of the magazine cover, and then we're going to go into Dreamweaver and link to the PDF. Just so that we'll have 2 options, well technically we'll have 3 options for the portfolio section of your personal website. One would be to link to a website. So if you have a video out on YouTube, or you have something you've written that might have been published, or you work on Viking Fusion and there's an article out there, something out in the web world, we can link to a www. That's number 1. Number 2 is we can always link to an archived item, which is a PDF, which is what we're going to do here. And then number 3 is we'll be able to link to a secondary HTML page that is a case study for a project you may have completed. We okay? All right, so we got that. And open up the, in the image assets, open up the Masonry Portfolio 2.jpg. So you should have 2 files open. If you have both the files open, there'll be 2 tabs at the top of your Photoshop. So you should have 2 tabs at the top of your Photoshop. Yep, so in the asset folder, in the images, under Masonry Portfolio folder, nope. So asset, images, portfolio. Oh, you've already renamed yours, it looks like, which is perfectly fine. So just do Portfolio 2. Yeah, so just open up Portfolio 2. Perfect. Now, I'd like you to copy the Valkyrie Fall 2024 image by doing Command A, Command C. So Command A, Command C, And then we're going to bring it over to our JPEG, that's our portfolio, in Command V. So now we have the cover copied into our thumbnail 2. So Command A for select all on the magazine cover. Command C to copy the magazine cover. So Command A, Command C, and then click on the portfolio thumbnail and do Command V. And so we'll just transfer the image just like we did last class with our portfolio thumbnail 1. And then let's just make it a little bit bigger. Just big enough to fill the thumbnail. And hit return. So in essence, we're just placing the image from the cover of the PDF in Photoshop on top of portfolio thumbnail 2. The reason we're doing that is we're just going to save it right over. Yep, Command A, Command C. Yep, go into your new one. Command V, like Victor. Yep, and then just with your move tool, click on move tool, the very top one, click on that. And, ooh, your transformer just turned off. See that little box right up there? There you go. And now let's just make it a little bit bigger. So just grab the corner, and yep, there you go. Make it a little bit bigger, perfect. So then we'll save it as, so let's save it as our portfolio 2.jpg. So we're going to do File, Export As. So File, Export As. It is a JPEG, so make sure this is set to JPEG, not PNG or GIF. So JPEG. We can click Export, and it should ask you, when you click Save, do you want to replace it? Make sure that you replace the image so that portfolio number 2.jpg is now the Valkyrie magazine. Now I only screenshot the PDF of the cover of it, but in essence this could be a multi-page document PDF that we would like to link in our portfolio. So once we have the cover transferred over to the number 2.jpg, let's go into our root directory on our desktop. So wherever you have your root directory saved, I would like you to move the PDF that you saved from the announcement section into the root directory. So take that PDF off the desktop and dump it right in here with the index.html files, with the portfolio details file, with the service details file, and with the starter page. Yep, so number 2, open up number 2. Yep. Now, download the PDF in Photoshop. So just drag it down to Photoshop. There you go. Make sure that you open up the PDF that's in the announcement section, so valkyrie.pdf. So when you download it from the announcement section, dump it right into the root directory. Yeah, it's a Valkyrie portfolio. It's in the announcement section of this class in Canvas. So you download it, so dump it into your root directory. Your transforms are turned off. Just like that little box.
On the desktop
There you
or
go.
on the actual?
Say that again?
On the desktop or on the actual?
Well, it's easy to save it to the desktop, but then drag it into your root directory. So drag it into your folder so that it's sitting in your folder just like that. So save it to the desktop, but then drag it and drop it into your root directory. Now, we're going to go into Dreamweaver, and we're going to take a look at our gallery settings, our portfolio settings. Now, just to recap from last class, we changed the tabs, the categories for our portfolio in our portfolio page area. We changed them to multimedia, print, and web as our 3 tabs up there. Now, if we scroll down to line 346 inside of our source code, we changed Masonry Portfolio 1 to a screenshot of your website. This is what we did last class. We changed the H4 to personal website design. We changed the paragraph description to Bootstrap responsive website. We changed line 343 to filter dash web because we changed our tabs at the top to multimedia, print, and web. And we made those changes at lines 336, 337, and 338. So just know as we scroll down now and we start adjusting item number 2 in our portfolio that starts at line 353, the first thing we're going to have to do is change the filter to say print. So the filter on 353 needs to say filter print because we changed in line 337 the filter to print and the word to print. So each one of these thumbnails in our portfolio have a category. The category is either filter multimedia, filter print, or filter web as the 3 categories of portfolio samples. So last class we set up portfolio image number 1 to be web. We're going to set up portfolio thumbnail number 2 to be print. So the first thing we're going to do is change line 353 to filter dash print. Make sure that our asset points to our portfolio2.jpg. And we're going to go in and change the content that appears in portfolio thumbnail 2. So I'm going to scroll down here and we're going to do the exact same thing we did last class. We're just going to attach our information a little bit different. So the first thing we're going to do for thumbnail number 2 is we're going to change the H4 to Valkyrie Magazine. So see where it says product number 1 under 356? Let's change it to Valkyrie, V-A-L, Magazine. That's how I remember it. V-A-L, Kyrie Magazine. And then for our paragraph description, we're going to change it to Berry College. What is that, a quarterly publication or yearly? Or how often does that thing come out? Anyone know? Valkyrie?
It's yearly.
Yearly? So we'll do yearly. Yearly magazine. Now, when we go down a little bit further, remember we also have to change the title because the title is what appears when you mouse over the image and you click the zoom icon. When you click the zoom icon, it expands it. So we need to make sure that also says Valkyrie Magazine. So we're changing the H4, we're changing the P, we're changing the filter for thumbnail number 2 to filter print, and we're changing the title to match the H4. The H4 is the title that appears when you mouse over the thumbnail. The title is what appears when you click the magnifying glass. Yes? Okay, so let's do very good. Yeah, you copied it the other one.
No, but the first, I finished the first day,
Okay, so let's hide that one. And let's click on your 0. Let's do Command A. Yep, Command A. Command C. And then go into your, Command V. All right, so there it is. Now, let's show transform controls. And let's just scale it down a little bit so it's not so huge, but it still covers the image. Yep, just a skosh bigger. You're good. Just grab the corner. Yep. Yep, perfect. Okay, so now let's do file export so that we export that as the exact same name. So we want it to be Masonry portfolio. So let's do file export.
It should be the same as
Is that where it is from desktop? And just go into assets, go into, yep, you got it, Mason portfolio, perfect. And click save, and it's gonna ask you to replace, and you say yes. All right, beautiful. All right, we're back in the game. All right, are we okay? We're back in the game.
No.
All right, not okay. All right. All right, open up the Valkyrie magazine cover. Inside Photoshop, since we file open. Let's find that baby inside your portfolio. There it is. Perfect. Click open. Voila. Do Command A for select all. Command C for copy. Let's go into our thumbnail. Yep. Command V for paste. There it is. Let's click on our move tool, which is the top one. Yep. Then just show transform controls. Beautiful. Now, when you do file export, after you make this a little bit bigger, make sure you export it as the exact same name in the same location as this thumbnail. So now if you go file export, it's good, it's perfect.
It's supposed to be exactly this, so if you just.
That's okay, we just have to apply the scale.
You need to go back to Photoshop and see it to this one. And then it should be.
All right, so now file export. Yep, beautiful. Good. Yep, export as. Perfect. It should give you JPEG, all right, let's change that to JPEG, perfect. Go ahead, export, very good. Make sure we're exporting in the same location, so if you click that little arrow down, right there, look, there it is already appearing, but you want to make sure it's in the image folder. So click on this little arrow right here, should be here actually. Let's just make sure it's in assets, images,
You can just do this.
and masonry portfolio. Good, and click save. Perfect. And if it says replace, we're in great shape. Perfect. Yep. All right. Are we okay? Yep. All right. All right. Perfect. Okay. So now we've changed the filter to print, which means when we click on that print tab in our browser, the only thumbnail that's going to appear is the new thumbnail we created for number 2. If we clicked on web, the only thing that would appear would be the thumbnail number 1 because we named that one web. So we're able to organize our thumbnails based on those 3 categories. All obviously would open them all up. We want to make sure the H4, which is the title of the project, and the title tag inside line 358 are the same, because this is the magnifying glass title to the project, and this is the title to the project when you mouse over the thumbnail. The P is just a description of what the thing is in our portfolio. Now, for thumbnail number 2, at line 359, the link is taking us to an HTML file. I would like you to change it to the name of the PDF. So instead of this being href equals quotation mark portfolio-details.html, let's change it to the name of our PDF. So line 359 in the quotations, we're going to change it to Valkyrie Fall 2024.pdf. Now, what we've done is we've changed the thumbnail 2 to go to this PDF instead of going to an HTML page. Why did we not put assets/image/portfolio in front of that href? Why did we just put Valkyrie Fall 2024?
You said why don't you put HT?
Yeah, why did I not?
Because you're not going to another website.
I'm not going to another website. Am I going to the asset folder?
That's a
No.
question.
No. We save the PDF in the root directory. So there's no directory below the root directory when you set up a link. So anything we save into the main folder where the HTML files are doesn't have a slash in front of it. So if we save a JPEG, if we save a PDF, if we save a Word doc, if we save a PowerPoint, if we save any asset that could be an asset for your portfolio, like you made a really beautiful presentation for a research topic and you wanted to link to that PowerPoint, if we put that PowerPoint in the root directory, meaning not in the images folder, not in the asset folder, not in the portfolio folder, but just in the main portfolio website folder, our root directory, then the only thing you have to put in this href is the file itself, because it doesn't have to look inside any folders. The difference is the link to the image is inside the subdirectory assets, subdirectory image, subdirectory Mason portfolio / masonry portfolio 2.jpg. That link is that long because it's inside multiple folders. If you save your assets into your primary root directory, the only thing you have to change in the Ahref is the name of the file. So if you have any PDFs or Word docs or PowerPoints or JPEGs or anything that is portfolio based, that are presentation type stuff that you want to link inside your portfolio for people to be able to see them, a really great case study you made, and you wrote a 25-page research topic and you put it in Word, and you want people to be able to click on your portfolio and read your writing style or read your samples. Ahref equals the name of the file inside of the quotation marks. As long as you save that archived item, that sample item, that document you want shared in your portfolio into the root directory. If you save those files into any other folders, you need to add the folder sequence based on which folder you put it in. So it's kind of like drilling into buckets. So if you only put it in the asset folder, then you only need assets / Valkyrie Fall. If you put it in the image folder, you have to put assets / image / Valkyrie Fall 2024. If you put it in Mason portfolio, you have to do assets / image / Mason portfolio / Valkyrie cover. So whatever folder you put your assets in, they have to be pathed correctly in here. And I'll tell you the number one thing students always do. They save it to the desktop, and then they drag the file into the code, and it says desktop / the username, like C. McElroy / Valkyrie Fall 2024.pdf, and then they move the file into their folder. They save the folder, they take the folder with them, and then when they open it up, they don't understand why the image doesn't work. Because you map to the desktop, and then you move the file, and then you try to reopen the file, but the file no longer exists on the desktop because you took it with you, right? So just make sure that as we gather assets, you put them in the place where you're going to recognize how to write it out here. Now, if we did Valkyrie Fall 2024.pdf and didn't do anything else, what window in the browser would that open in? So if we open your portfolio and click on that link, where is it going to go? The PDF link.
It's not going to go anywhere because we don't have it saved.
Well, we have it saved now. It should be in your root directory, right? You saved it to the desktop and then dragged it into your folder. If you haven't done that, take it from the desktop and drag it into the folder. It's going to open on top of your website. So it's going to replace your website with the PDF. So if we just left it like this, Ahref equals Valkyrie _ Fall 2024.pdf, and we open up your index page in your web browser and we click on it, it's going to open right over top of your website, which means it's going to cover your website, which means they can't see your navigation anymore, which means they can't see your website anymore. We want to set up that PDF link to target equals _ blank so that it opens in its own window. So let's go to the end of our href inside of line 359. So Ahref equals blah blah blah.pdf, title, class, detail, right at the end of class equals !details - link .quotation mark. We're going to add the target for this image. So right here at the end of the quotation mark, I want you to do a space bar and write target equals quotation mark _ blank quotation mark. When you start typing it in, it's immediately going to try to help you fill it in like that. Target equals quotation mark _ blank quotation mark. Now, when you link in your portfolio to assets, and by assets I mean PDF, Word docs, PowerPoints, pictures of writing samples, anything that you would consider a reflection of your skill sets. something you would want a potential employer to see. Look at this beautiful reference page I made for this thing. Look at this article I wrote for the newspaper. Look at this thing I did for something that I help with my church. Look at the program that I took pictures of for the nonprofit that did a weekend event to raise money to feed the hungry. Like, whatever that thing is. Target equals blank means that the archived item, the item that we put in our root directory, will open up in its own window. So let's see what that looks like. Let's see if we did it correctly. Let's do Command S or File Save in Dreamweaver. Let's close our index file in Dreamweaver. And let's go out to our root directory on our desktop. So let's just see how we did. Let's double click on the index page. So it'll open up in your web browser. Let's scroll down to our portfolio. Our second thumbnail should now be the Valkyrie magazine, if we did it correctly. So if you scroll down, this should be the Valkyrie magazine. When you mouse over it, it should say Valkyrie magazine, Berry College Yearly Magazine, and there should be a magnifying glass and a link. Now, if we did our filter correctly, filter-print, if we click on this print button, the only thing that should be there is the Valkyrie magazine, because that's the only item that is print. If we go back to all, it shows all the thumbnails. If we click on web, it's going to only show our web thumbnail. So that is the filter. Give me 1 second, I'll take a peek. So print, we'll move that to only print. So there's only one item so far that is print. Now, if you click the magnifying glass on the Valkyrie thumbnail, it should say Valkyrie Magazine down here, because that is the title that we changed inside of our thumbnail. Now, we can hit the little red X here. The last thing to check, if we click on the link, it should open as a new document. See how this is a new browser item and the website is still there? That is target equals blank. So if you click on that little link, it should open a new tab inside of your browser. So what did we do there? We replaced the Portfolio 2 with the magazine cover. We took the PDF off the announcement section and put it in our root directory as Valkyrie_fall2024.pdf. We did those two things. Number 3, we went into our second thumbnail in our portfolio and changed the H4 to Valkyrie Magazine. We changed the P to Berry College Yearly Publication. We changed the title to Valkyrie Magazine, and we changed the target of the href to be Valkyrie_fall2024.pdf. Target equals _blank. Those are the steps that we did inside the thumbnail. Let's see your thumbnail output.
This is the only problem I have.
Okay, so what happened was the markers at the top of it. So scroll down a little bit till we get to the beginning of the thumbnails. Up, you were a little too far. Keep going, up a little bit. So, up. So you see these? Filter equals multimedia, that's fine. Filter equals print, that's fine. Filter equals web, that's fine. So let's take a look at your first thumbnail. See how it still says filter equals app? That one will be web, and then filter, yep, that will be print. Very good. And so let's just double check the rest. Scroll down just a little bit. All right, so Valkyrie, perfect. Target equals blank, perfect. So let's save it, check it in the browser, and make sure that happens. Does that terminology make sense? An href is a link. If the link is just a document name, it's linking to the document name. PowerPoint, Word doc, PDF, JPEG, GIF, whatever the archived item is, href equals is linking to that document name. If that document is in your root directory, it doesn't need assets/image/masonry portfolio / name of the file, because it's in the root directory. It only needs the file name. By making it target equals underscore blank, it means that the image will open up in a new window. That's really important in a portfolio so that things aren't opening on top of your website over and over and over again. You want people to still be able to navigate your website and be able to see the archived items as a separate thing. So if they click the little X on the archived item, the PowerPoint, the Word doc, the PDF, your website is still there. If you don't do target equals blank, if they click the X, your website is gone because the archived item, the PDF, the Word doc, the PowerPoint, was the only thing in the browser versus having multiple tabs in the browser. So as we add portfolio pieces to your portfolio gallery, Word docs, PowerPoints, PDFs, JPEGs, whatever that thing is, that asset is that you created, you want to make sure it's target equals blank. You want to make sure it's target equals underscore blank, even if it's a web address. So if you have something on Viking Fusion and you want to use a thumbnail and point it to that website, and you do www.vikingfusion.com and whatever the URL link is for the article, after that link, you should do target equals underscore blank. So when they click on your website with all your stuff on it, it opens Viking Fusion in a separate browser window, not in the same browser window as your website. You want to make sure they go somewhere else. That is the key. You want them to go somewhere else, not on top of your website. Now, so we've replaced 2 thumbnails. We've changed the title, the description of 2 thumbnails. The first thumbnail, we made the href a link, so I went to www.cnn.com. The second one, we made go to a document, this case magazine cover.pdf. So those are 2 options in our portfolio. The last option is to open up a page that has a case study of the project. And in your portfolio folder, there is a page built for a detailed description of your project. So let's go into Dreamweaver and reopen up your index file. Reopen up your index file. So we've linked to a web address with the href. We've linked to a document, which was a PDF, with the href. The last piece of the portfolio that is possible functionality for showcasing things you have learned would be to open up a second page that has a detailed description of your portfolio. So let's say you're on one of the publications and you work on those things 6 times a year and you made a writing sample that's really beautiful and you are happy with the pictures and all that stuff. It would be nice to say a little bit more about that. If you shot a video that ended up being on the sports channel or ended up being on Viking Fusion, it would be nice to say a little bit more about that. So option number 3 in our portfolio, first is to link to a URL. Second is to link to an archived item, Word doc, PowerPoint, PDF. Third is to link to a page that gives a detailed description of your archived item. So let's scroll back down to thumbnail 1. And thumbnail 1 is a screenshot of our portfolio website. And this is what we did last class. We changed it to personal website in line 346. We changed it to Bootstrap responsive website in 347. We changed the tag to this thing to be web, the filter to be web. We changed the title to be personal website design in line 348. But in line 349, it says ahref equals portfolio detail.html, which is the space holder for a detailed page about the project. So let's change the HTML portfolio details to personal website.html. Personal website.html. And let's go over to our Files tab and you see where it says portfolio-details.html, I want you to rename that to personalwebsite.html. So you see the little file over here? Let's do Control-click, and let's do Edit, Rename, and I want you to rename it to personalwebsite.html. Personalwebsite.html, and hit Return. And it's going to ask you, would you like to update it? Yes, I would like to update it. So personalwebsite.html. So now you have an index.html in your root directory, and you have a personalwebsite.html. So thumbnail 1 isn't linked to the PDF, it's linked to the HTML file we just created. Personalwebsite.html. Now, the way that this site is constructed, it's constructed so personalwebsite.html will open in the content area of our web page. And by content area, I mean you'll still see the navigation on the left-hand side. So let's double-click on personalwebsite.html and open it up inside of Dreamweaver. So now we have index.html and we have personalwebsite.html. Both opened inside Dreamweaver. This is option number 3 in our personal portfolio website. And that's to link to a detailed description of a portfolio sample that you might like. Like in multimedia class, you did a huge case study on a nonprofit. So you made a big PDF of a bunch of design pieces for a nonprofit that you created if you took multimedia class. This is a great place to do a detailed description of that project, because you designed a logo, you made advertisements, you made a poster, you made a website wireframe, you did all these things for the project. This is a great place to make a detailed description of something you're really proud of, something you put a lot of work into. So let's change the basic text at the top of this page so we can see what the portfolio detailed page looks like. So under the title, on line number 7 in the source code, so all we have is personalwebsite.html open. Let's change the title to personal website case study. So personal website case study. In line 7, let's scroll down a little bit. To line 68-ish, 69, right after the navigation, and this will be changed from portfolio details to personal website design, and you can see it changing right at the top there. Personal website design. So we changed the file page name to personalwebsite.html. So it's not projectdetails.html anymore. In the files menu, we opened up the now renamed personalwebsite.html inside of Dreamweaver so that we could edit this page to be the information about thumbnail number 1, which is the screenshot of our website, so that when someone clicks on the link that appears in the portfolio thumbnail number 1, it goes to this case study. It doesn't go to www.whatever.com. It doesn't go to Valkyrie_fall2024.pdf, because that's thumbnail number 2. Thumbnail number 1 goes to personalwebsite.html now. Now, just so that we can see the functionality of it, let's scroll down. So we've changed personal website design in line 68, 69, 70 in that area. Now, just for the sake of the process, let's scroll down beyond the scrolling gallery, because we've seen these before, where the images scroll. Here's app1.jpg, product1.jpg, branding1.jpg. So we could change
these to any of the images that we're going to replace them with. But let's go a little further just so you can see it when we open it up in the browser. In line 126, let's change the title to Personal Website Bootstrap Design in Dreamweaver, just so that you can see the title change down here when we open up the page in the browser. So that's what this is right here. So we changed the title to the page. We changed the category, which is the text at the top, which was line 67, 68, 69, 70, around there, which is right here. And we changed in line 126 the H2. And we're just changing these three areas so that you can see it in the browser. So let's save this now edited personal website.html page, just so that you can see the functionality of it. And we can close that in Dreamweaver. We can close the index file in Dreamweaver. I'm going to say save because we made an edit to it. And let's open up the index page in the browser now. So this is what should happen, right? If you click on the Valkyrie, you should get a blow-up of the image with Valkyrie Magazine. If you click on the link for Valkyrie, you should get a window that opens up that is the PDF. So that's the functionality we added to thumbnail number 2. But thumbnail number 1, if you click on the magnifying glass, says personal website design. If you click on the link, it should open up the newly created personal website design HTML file. But look, the functionality of the navigation is still there. So the way this site is set up is it's set up to open the case study inside of your framework of your website. So if you still see your navigation over here, but now your window says personal website design at the top, then you have had success. And if you click on this little home button, it takes you back to your home page. So if we scroll down again and we mouse over our thumbnail number 1 and you click on this link icon, it should go to our personal website.html page. That would be success. If you click the little home button at the top of our newly opened personal website.html, it should take you back to your home page. Does that functionality make sense? The thumbnail has a link icon. The link icon has an href. We're pointing the href inside of thumbnail number 2 to personal website.html. That thing could go to any HTML file, the little link icon. We pointed it to personal website.html. The functionality of this structure opens it where you still see your navigation on the left-hand side. So if you click on that thing, that is the link icon, inside your thumbnail, it should open up the newly created personal website.html file. Yeah? Thumbnails? Thumbs up? Are we okay?
No.
All right. Well, you're there, so let's go back to index. Let's check your link in index. Oh, that picture's beautiful. Yeah, good job. So let's go down to your thumbnail. I know, we're at 250 already. Save your file where you're at. Hey, homework. Gather assets that we can link in your portfolio, because I want to be able to build our portfolio on Monday. Have a good weekend. See you on Monday. Are you okay back there?
I think that last step I'm confused, but
Opening up the personal page inside.
yeah, I'm
of
not
it.
sure where, or I guess like which picture I linked
Oh,
because I couldn't find it when I opened it, like online.
okay. It's just a matter of double checking the div tag
magnifying glass, that thing should say personalwebsite.html. If it does, it'll open it inside there. So we probably might have switched that to just the other one. Let's see.
Yes, that's my line.
All right, let me see. All right,
Yeah.
let's check it out real quick. All right, so let's scroll down to. All right, so which one did we change? There's
Oh,
product
Madeline,
three.
did you
Let's
know that
scroll.
Anna started working at Berry?
All right,
Oh, no.
so.
Yes. After
there's
she
number
said I would
two.
never work here.
All right, so
Now she works in
let's
the
scroll up. We just have to find which one
Yeah.
you changed.
I know.
Mason 5, keep going.
Full circle.
4, keep going. 3, all right, so one more. So number 2, all right, very good. So this one is linked correctly, target equals minus, that looks beautiful. Okay, scroll up just one more. All right, so we need number 1. So here's number 1. All right, so let's see here. Is that the one you linked? Because I don't see it saying portfolio.
For the screenshot one, I got there late, I didn't do that one, so it's missing link right.
So that one right there, so that's the one we were changing. So that's why. So let's just click here.
I'm talking about my portfolio, the little resume, you don't keep this in like this. Just stick it somewhere.
Well, yeah, that one does take you to resume. It takes you to exactly, but the thing that I want to, you see how this says portfolio details? Let's rename that to personal website. And we're gonna link the first thumbnail to your personal website description. Yep, okay, very good. All right, so now let's go back into thumbnail number 1. So let's scroll down really quickly with thumbnail number 1. And we'll just see how it works, just so that you can see. All right, beautiful. So you see, oh, there you go. So, yep, fine. And so now, let's go ahead and close both of those files, but save them first. Make sure you save this one too, because I think you might have. Okay, all right, so now, yep, click refresh. Now scroll up to the thumbnails. Let's go to your portfolio pieces. Yep, very good. And now mouse over here. Now click on that little link. Voila. Yeah, so now we just have to change that thumbnail to be a picture of your website.
Okay. Also,
yep.
how do I change these colors right here? 'Cause I was changing them right here. I was on my regular laptop and I looked up to see what the colors were looking like.
Uh-huh.
I forgot how to change it.
So now you're seeing it in main.css. So main.css.
Alright.
You want to find the navigation area of the descriptions. So you see how they have little headers? So you want to find the navigation one. I think it might be a little bit further down. Okay, that's still header. Go down a little bit further. So navigation. So you change the colors. You scroll down just a little bit. So you change the colors to, let me just see, nav menu, background color. We have color mix, that's fine. So scroll down a little bit further. All right, so you have dark gray, you have aquamarine. So that's where you want to change them based on the colors that you want. So just remember the nav section. Yep, very good. All right, let me power this off.